Have driver of the 02 Chevy for Young Motorsports in the NASCAR Truck Series, Nathan Byrd, calling on to the show. First off, congratulations on your career best finish at the truck level on Friday, bringing it home 14th. Backtracking to the start of the season, it's been a battle with the previous 6 races this year, finishing outside the top 25. Must have felt real good to get your first top 15.
Yeah, I felt really good, Dave, and appreciate you having me on the show. Yeah, it was a definitely a team effort. I'm just the guy that's lucky enough to be able to drive the truck and just work with a team to just get better as a race car driver, and us also just do my part, my small role in helping the truck get better, and hopefully just continue getting these good results.
Awesome. Yeah, really appreciate your time. You participated in the preseason practice at Rockingham, being 27th fastest on the board. You qualified for Friday's race, 28th. We know fuel mileage came into play at the end, but how did you and your team make things click the whole length Friday evening?
Yeah, I think it really came down to, well, my main goal that day was can we just start practice off and just get back to the setup that we ended up with at the end of the preseason test day as fast as possible. That was my primary goal, and we were able to do that over the course of practice. We started out I think generally too tight. And then just over the course of the practice session, we just like loosen it up, loosen it up, loosen it up. And then near the end, we're like, okay, I think it's still a little bit too tight. So they kind of took another swing at it for qualifying. And it's always a hard when you're at a track and you have to gain a full second from practice to qualifying in order to be even remotely competitive. And get it all at once in one lap with new tires, with the race tape and with the qualifying tape and all those things. So luckily we were able to get that done. I was able to get like a whole another second and get a probably one of my top three most competitive qualifying run efforts, and that was good. So and the truck was definitely a bit more neutral to loose, which is what it needed to be. I was doing my best not to back all the way out of the throttle, getting into both ends of the track, and I was able to do that. And yeah, it's just hard to always put a good qualifying effort together, but we were able to get that done with a decent enough 28th place qualifying effort. And then yeah, going into the race, we were a little bit too a little bit too loose to start off, and I didn't want to be tight because I felt like that would just be too problematic. And then just yeah, over the course of the race, just working with the team, like, hey guys, I think we can go a little bit further. Like I think I was saying on the radio, like I think we're really close, but let's just take some small swings and see if we can get a bit more dialed in, and just as I get more and more comfortable. And yeah, we ended up having that. Just that it did come down to fuel mileage. Luckily, our situation, like we weren't even worried about fuel or anything like that. Like trying to get to the end, it was really just a consequence of us trying to get back on the lead lap first and foremost. And because of that, we did that wave around during that first red when we went back around. We got the wave around and we're like, okay, you just got to get a caution now and get back to get Lucky Dog and get back in the lead lap, and that's what we were able to get. So that ended up just giving us like easily the fuel to make it to the end of the race. So that was not a problem for us, but uh, luckily or unluckily for the other guys, it was a problem for them, and that helped us to get a couple more spots at the end.
Yeah, in the end, paid off for you. I really do appreciate you breaking down each pit stop and everything. Have been talking a lot about the repave of Rockingham as NASCAR made its return there. What did you think of the track, and how much were you in the throttle on Friday?
Yeah, so I really liked the track. The track was I mean, I had no other frame of reference, obviously, having just started NASCAR racing last summer. And so definitely had no frame of reference of what Rockingham would be like during the preseason test. All I knew is that when I when I got there, and especially with the help of Stephen Parsons, he was helping me all test day long, getting seat time on the truck, helping get the setup dialed in, which I credit like basically 99% of all the truck's improvements setup wise and its speed and its pace to Stephen Parsons and obviously the work of the team on practice day, Jason Miller, my crew chief, just getting things dialed in more and more. And yeah, with his help, we were able to be like pretty fast. And like, man, this track is very, very fast. And it was slightly better conditions back in or like when it was January versus this past Friday. But still, the track was very fast, and guys were kind of interested. We were interested in seeing like how much the track would have slowed down because ARCA practice right before we went out seemed to slow down a little bit compared to beforehand. They just weren't as fast as we were expecting, and so like, okay, that's interesting. And but in the end, I think we were running very fast lap times nonetheless. Um, maybe only like half a second off of what we were doing in January, and at least the fastest guys. And we were concerned that, oh, is it going to be like one lane now? And is it just going to be bottom lane and things are going to like, well, there was a lot of unknowns going into the race. And Stefan sort of helped keep my head on straight. Like, yeah, let's just like it's going to be pretty messy out there because guys don't exactly know what's going to be going on with the track. And I think everyone was pleasantly surprised about how competitively the second lane, and even the some two and a second and a half and third lane were starting to come in over the course of the race. And even if guys were mainly passing on the bottom, from what I could tell, I think there was a lot of there were some passes on the outside, and also just some raciness, general like guys holding their own on the outside lane. Maybe not quite as fast as the absolute bottom, but I think I was definitely pleasantly surprised with the pace of the second lane and just being able to run that and just having some lane choice variety and just trying to learn a new track. And yeah, so it was fun, and that's basically my thoughts on the track and its speed. But yeah, very fast and very fun.
Cool. Yeah, just like you said, a lot of unknowns. You kind of led into my next question. This is your second year in the trucks with Young's Motorsports. How's it working with Stephen Parsons and Anthony Alfredo?
Yeah, so Stefan's been really instrumental in helping. He's basically my NASCAR driver and coach, and he's been really awesome and just basically, I mean, he's been up in the tower like along with my spotter Joe White and just giving some extra perspective and some extra information, and just being a guy on the radio that I can just like ask a quick question to. He'll know the answer. He has a lot of experience, and just even pre-race debriefs. We've been able to have good conversations about like, hey, this is what we're going to expect going to this race. These are like reasonable goals to aim for. And obviously, when he's my teammate on some of the weekends as well, like he has been
Yep.
for at least a couple races so far, and he will be for a few more. When he is my teammate, that's even better for me because I get to draw from all of his experience in a truck that's similar to mine, and with the same team. So with Anthony, I've been able to have some good conversation with him as well. Not as closely because he's focused on the Xfinity side of things, obviously. But I've been able to draw some good stuff from Garrett Smithley as well. Just Jason Miller, crew chiefs for him on the Xfinity side as well. So just always a lot of good guys around me that I can just I feel like I can just go to them and ask them questions, and they're always willing to help. But yeah, Stefan's been really instrumental in particular in getting me up to speed, keeping my head on straight, and helping me to just take things one step at a time and just understand that it's a learning curve. And he's going through the exact same thing when he first started out in trucks too. I mean, it's only my seventh, eighth truck race ever, and only had 3 races last year. So, and I think we just got done with the sixth or the fifth this year. So, yeah, Stefan's been awesome, and it's great working with the team.
Heck yeah. Really sounds like you're in good hands over there. Last question. The next race is at the 1.5 miles of Texas. What are you going to do to prepare, and how do you think you will feel when you unload there?
Yeah, so Texas is going to be another new track, and it's funny because I don't think it's necessarily a coincidence that the one track that I got the most seat time in practice in, and the ability to work closely with Stefan, and I'm talking about the Rockingham test, of course. It was no wonder that I was able to get my best ever NASCAR results after I got the most ever seat time in preparation for a race. So one might put the 2 and 2 together and think that it's correlated, but having not had that experience at a track like Texas, it's going to be presumably more challenging. I always do my best to prepare beforehand, looking over just onboard footage, listening to previous like spotter, like I always combine the onboard footage with the spotter radio, and just to get an idea of how the track flows and the racing and the racecraft, and to try to watch as many of the previous races that happened in past years as well, for on the truck side especially. And of course, whatever I can get on the simulator, I get some laps. It's nice that even though it's only iRacing, for example, that I'm using, I'm not on the super professional Chevy and Toyota sims, but on iRacing, at least you get to race against guys at these tracks. And maybe it's a little bit, maybe it's pretty similar to the way that it races in real life, and I just have to cross check it with the actual the real deal, the real footage. But it's always good for me to just get a feel for just a general idea of like, okay, this is how the track flows. This is how it feels. This is, generally speaking, the sort of way I'm going to approach braking and turning and getting on the throttle at each of these at both ends of the track. So that's going to be I'm going to go through my normal preparations for Texas. I'm excited. It's going to be a faster track, and that's what we've built most of our schedule around, is just trying to run at the higher speed ovals and just getting experience at those, because obviously one of my initial goals when I started out racing with my dad, Bird Racing, is was racing the Indy 500. So that's one of our that was one of our goals starting out. That's still one of our goals, and obviously I'll just trying to become as good of a NASCAR racer as I can in the process as well. So yeah, that's kind of what we're up to, and I'm looking forward to Texas and just seeing how I can fare with coming off of a good result at Rockingham, and hopefully just the truck's already there with the setup, and we're gonna hopefully be starting at a good like foundation, and we can just keep on building for practice.
Awesome. Really appreciate you going over that. Sounds like you got a great foundation and goals set for the rest of this year. Really best of luck, Nathan, and hope to have you on the show before the season, the end of the season. All right.
Yep, I appreciate it, Dave. Thanks for having
Yep.
me on.
Thank you too.